He built trust with my daughters, but abandoned his own child. Life throws curveballs. As a single mom to twins, dating wasn't on my radar, nor was catching my husband with my sister when my daughters were barely 9 months old. After the divorce, I poured everything into my girls and my photography studio for 3 years. Romance? That part of my mind was repurposed for memorizing animal facts and every Pixar song lyric. Then I met Ethan. He strolled into my studio needing headshots for his new counseling practice. Tall, with a neatly trimmed graying beard and eyes that lit up when he smiled. When he mentioned his work focused on childhood resilience, something in me eased. He glanced at a photo of my daughters on my desk and said, "Your girls are radiant." No probing about their dad or my solo status, just genuine warmth for what he saw. Our first date started with coffee, stretched into lunch, and ended with a sunset walk in the park. He truly listened when I spoke, no distracted glances at his phone or wandering eyes. By our third outing, he'd remembered my latte order and brought storybooks for my twins, even though he hadn't met them. "For whenever you're ready," he said, no rush. 2 months in, I introduced him to Ava and Sophie. They were wary at first, unfamiliar with seeing me with anyone but their father. Ethan knelt to their level, letting them come to him without demanding hugs or attention. By month 4, the girls lit up when he arrived. He'd show up with ingredients for build-your-own tacos, letting them pile on wild toppings like marshmallows or jelly beans. He never stepped on my parenting toes. "That's your call," he'd say. "I'm just here to back you up." That Mother's Day, he took the girls so I could sleep late, then served slightly charred pancakes made by 4-year-old hands, with Ethan hovering nearby to prevent disasters. I began picturing a life with him. My daughters already were. Then came Sophie's preschool play. Sophie stumbled on her lines mid-performance, her eyes brimming with panic. I started to rise, but Ethan was already moving. He walked calmly to the stage's edge, whispered something, and she beamed, delivering her part perfectly. In the parking lot, I couldn't stop thanking him. "You're amazing with them," I said. "They make it easy," he replied, securing their car seats. Then a voice called his name. A woman approached, pushing a stroller with a toddler, maybe a year old. "Ethan, I knew it was you." His face paled. She reached us, smiling brightly. "I've been trying to get a hold of you. Your sister said you'd be here." She glanced at me, then the twins. "Oh, are you a client?" "I'm Claire," I said, my voice tight. "Ethan's girlfriend." Her smile wavered. "Girlfriend?" She gave a shaky laugh. "That's unexpected." She angled the stroller, revealing a boy with Ethan's eyes, Ethan's smile, Ethan's face in miniature. "This is Noah," she said. "Your son. The one you haven't seen since you left 5 months ago." The ground shifted beneath me. 5 months, when we'd started dating. "Claire, let me explain," Ethan began. "Mommy, who's that baby?" Ava asked, tugging my hand. I looked at my daughter's curious face, then at the undeniable proof of Ethan's betrayal. The woman, her name still a mystery, stood with a mix of pain and defiance. "Girls, we're leaving," I said, steadier than I felt. Now, Ethan reached for me. "Please just hear me out." I pulled back. "Don't touch me, don't call, stay away from my daughters." The woman watched, her lips curling in a bitter smirk. "Looks like you got the Ethan treatment," she said. "Charm, devotion, then vanishing. At least you didn't have his kid first." As I strapped the twins into their seats, Ethan lingered by my car. "Move," I said, keys biting into my palm. "It's not what you think," he pleaded. "Leela and I were done when you abandoned your son, when you started seeing me without mentioning you were a father." The twins stared from the backseat, confused. I lowered my voice. "My girls are watching me right now, Ethan. I'm showing them we don't keep liars in our lives." Driving away, I saw Ethan in the rearview mirror, standing beside Leela and Noah. The twins fired questions I couldn't answer. "Why does that baby look like him? Why are you sad, Mommy? Is Ethan coming tonight?" At home, I fought nausea as I tucked them in. For 3 years, I'd shielded them from their father's betrayal. I'd vetted Ethan carefully, trusting his work with kids. I'd watched him connect with my daughters, thinking he was different, all while he'd left his own son behind. That night, alone in the kitchen, I scrolled through Ethan's texts, 19 of them, from excuses to apologies to pleas. Leela got pregnant after we split. I wasn't ready for fatherhood. I was going to tell you, Claire, what we have is real. I blocked him. Then came bouquets, letters, and unannounced visits to my studio. "You need to leave," I told him when he showed up. "I have clients. I just need you to understand," he pressed. "Leela was unstable. She made my life impossible. And Noah, what did he do to deserve you walking away?" "I send money every month," he said, defensive. "I'm not totally absent. Does Noah feel that money? Does it read him stories or tuck him in?" "You're not being fair," he said as a client entered. "I messed up, but what we had was real, Claire. My feelings for your girls were real. And yet you never mentioned your son." I opened the door. "If you contact us again, I'll file for a restraining order. You're a counselor. Think about what that would do to your practice." That night, watching the twins sleep, I wondered how I'd misjudged so badly. How had I let someone into our fragile world without seeing the truth? The next morning, I did something unexpected. I called my ex-husband, Mark. He picked up quickly. "Claire, are the girls okay?" "They're fine, physically." I explained everything, keeping my tone detached. Mark listened quietly, a change from the man I'd known during our marriage. "God, what a guy," he said finally. "The girls are okay?" Confused, they got attached to him. He paused. "Want me to come by? Spend extra time with them until this settles?" His offer floored me. Since our divorce, arranging his visits had been a battle. Now he was stepping up. "That would help," I admitted. That week, Mark arrived with burgers and a puzzle for family night. The girls were thrilled. I stepped back to the kitchen, giving them space. Mark joined me later. "You're great with them," I said, a rare acknowledgement. He shrugged. "I'm trying harder, been talking to someone, a therapist." "Good. Claire, what Ethan did, that's rough, but don't shut yourself off forever. You and the girls deserve better than guys like him." Coming from the man who cheated with my sister, it was ironic. But oddly not unappreciated. 2 weeks later, Leela, Ethan's ex, and Noah's mom appeared at my studio. "Can we talk?" she asked, Noah on her hip. "About Ethan." I wanted to say no to avoid more chaos, but her weary yet resolute expression stopped me. "My last client's at 6, I said. "Come back then." She returned with Noah asleep in his stroller. We sat in my office, a desk between us. "I'm sorry you found out like that," she began. "It wasn't right." "It's not right for anyone," I said, nodding toward Noah. "Especially him." Leela's eyes glistened. "Ethan told me about you and your daughters last week. He showed up wanting to see Noah for the first time since he was born." "Really?" I asked, surprised. "Yeah, said meeting you and your girls showed him what he was missing." She gave a sharp laugh. "Guess it took seeing someone else parent well to make him care." I didn't know how to respond. "We met in grad school," Leela went on. "Thought we were perfect together, same career path, same values. Or so I believed." She looked at Noah. "When I got pregnant, everything shifted. He said it would ruin his plans. After Noah was born, he visited once, held him, then disappeared." "I'm sorry," I said, meaning it. "The thing is," Leela met my gaze, "Ethan's not evil, he's just weak. When things get tough, he bolts." "Why tell me this?" "Because he's trying to be in Noah's life now, and I need to know, did he ever mention having a son? Show you photos, act like he was hiding something." The truth stung. "No, never," she nodded. "I figured, look, I don't care about your relationship with him, that's your call, but I'm protecting my son. If Ethan's only interested in fatherhood to impress you, we're done," I said firmly, "and we're staying that way." Relief crossed her face. "Good, I think he only wants Noah now to look good for you." I hesitated, then asked, "How did you know to find him at Sophie's play?" She gave a sad smile. "His sister. She's been tracking him, hoping to keep a tie to her nephew. When she heard he was playing family man with you while ignoring Noah, she told me where he'd be. Hoped it would shake him up." After she left, I sat in my office, reflecting on our parallel lives. Two single moms, deceived by the same man in different ways, both guarding our kids from his mess. The next day, a text came from an unknown number. "It's Leela. Got your number from your studio assistant. Hope that's okay. Wanted to invite you and your girls for a playdate this weekend." "No pressure." I stared at the message, then replied, "We'd like that." That Saturday, we met at a park. The twins were instantly drawn to Noah, asking to push his stroller. Leela and I talked easily, watching the kids play. "It's weird," she said. "A month ago, you were the other woman my ex ran to. Now, we're in the Ethan Recovery Club." I laughed. "Survivors of Ethan Anonymous." We shared stories, the red flags we missed, the small lies that added up. His charisma, his focus, how he made you feel like his everything. Until something shinier appeared or something harder emerged. "I almost pity him," Leela said. "He's missing Noah's first words, first steps." I watched my girls gently push Noah's swing, their kindness shining. "His loss," I said. Over months, our playdates became routine. The twins loved playing big sisters to Noah, and Leela and I built a bond from shared scars. We teased about starting a group for Ethan's exes, but we rarely mentioned him anymore. One morning, as I packed lunches, Mark called, his voice urgent. "Claire, have you seen Ethan's new dating profile?" My heart sank. "No, why would I?" Leela sent me screenshots. She's got a dummy account to monitor him. "Claire, he's using photos with our girls, claiming they're his." I froze. What? Pictures from Sophie's play, ice cream outings, park swings, private moments. I know, Leela recognized the twins from your playdates. Fury surged. I'd welcomed Ethan into our lives, never blocking his time with the girls. Now he was exploiting them as props. I filed for a restraining order that day, attaching Leela's screenshots, Ethan's harassing texts from our breakup, and records of his uninvited studio visits. Mark came with me to the courthouse. As we left, order in hand, he touched my arm. "You okay?" I nodded, unable to speak. "You know," he said, "I've been the villain in your story for years and I earned it. What I did was awful. But watching you handle Ethan, you're tougher than anyone realizes, including me." 3 days later, Ethan was served. His profile vanished that day. At our next playdate, Leela brought cookies to celebrate. "To breaking free from deceitful men," she toasted, raising her mug. "And to the family we build." I looked at our kids, my twins teaching Noah to stack blocks, their laughter echoing. These children deserved better than fathers who saw parenting as optional. They'd grow up knowing their value didn't hinge on someone else's ability to commit. 6 months later, a new client walked into my studio. Not striking, but with warm eyes and a kind smile. "Daniel Carter," he said, shaking my hand. "Need team photos for my daughter's basketball squad." "Claire Chen," I replied, noting the faint tan line where a wedding ring once sat. "Freshly divorced then." As we reviewed pricing, his phone rang. He answered instantly. "Hey kiddo, you good? Yep, your star-shaped cookies are in the red tin. Love you." He hung up sheepish. "Sorry, my daughter Mia checks in between classes. It's just us since her mom left last year." "No need to apologize," I said, thinking of my own daily calls with the twins. "Answering when your kid needs you, that's everything, right?" He grinned, relieved. "Exactly." After he left, I caught myself smiling. Not because I was ready to date, I wasn't. Not because Daniel would be anything beyond a client, he might not. But because I'd met a dad who picked up when his daughter called. And then it hit me. Ethan wasn't my worst dating story as a single mom. He was my greatest lesson. A lesson in what to dodge, but also in the strength of the circle that formed after he left. Leela's friendship, Mark's growth, my daughter's resilience. Last week, we celebrated Noah's birthday. A lively toddler with Ethan's smile, but none of his absence. Mark brought his new girlfriend, a gentle librarian who gave the girls handmade bookmarks and asked them thoughtful questions. As we sang Happy Birthday, I caught Leela's eye. We shared a knowing look, recognizing how far we'd come, from strangers linked by a man's lies to friends bound by our resolve to give our kids better. Ethan still reaches out occasionally through shared contacts or work circles. He's seeing someone new, I hear. Someone childless, unaware of Noah, my twins, or the pattern of abandonment he leaves behind. But we know. And we're raising our children to understand that love doesn't walk away when life gets tough. That parenting isn't optional. That real family is the people who show up day after day through the chaos and the joy. That night after tucking the twins in, Sophie asked, "Mommy, will you ever find us a new daddy?" I brushed her hair back. "I don't know, love, but we've got so many people who care about us already. Yumi of a daddy even though he's in a different house. Leela and Noah, grandma and grandpa." I kissed her. "Some families have 2 parents together, some don't, but every family needs people who stick around no matter what." "Like you," Ava murmured from her bed. "Like me," I said, "and like you too for each other." Later on the porch, I scrolled through party photos, the twins blowing out candles, Noah with cake on his cheeks, Mark slicing cake, Leela laughing. The family we'd forged from broken trust. My phone pinged with a text from an unknown number. "This is Daniel Carter from the basketball shoot. Hope this isn't too forward, but Mia and I are hitting the Science Museum tomorrow at 10. She thought your girls might want to come. No pressure." I stared at the message, thinking about fresh starts, moving on, and showing my daughters that while some people leave, the right ones stay. I typed back, "The twins love the planetarium. We'll meet you there at 10. Not a date, just 2 single parents and their kids sharing a Sunday. Maybe it would lead nowhere, maybe it would lead everywhere. For the first time in a long time, I was fine not knowing the outcome. Thank you for reading, and I'll see you in the next one.